At MIT, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate MIT's code of conduct or rules regarding bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
If targeted at individuals, not making public statements.
Yes or no? Calling for the genocide of Jews does not constitute bullying and harassment?
I have not heard calling for the genocide for Jews on our campus.
If the speech turns into conduct, it can be harassment, yes.
I am asking specifically calling for the genocide of Jews. Does that constitute bullying or harassment?
If it is directed and severe or pervasive, it is harassment.
At Harvard, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
What's the context?
Targeted as an individual, at an individual.
It's targeted at Jewish students, Jewish individuals.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So Elise Stefanik, the congresswoman from New York, the one who basically ended all those university presidents' careers, she just keeps impressing, man. And apparently she's on the short list, or at least she's on the short list of who people would really, really like to see as a Donald Trump vice presidential pick. And she was on Meet the Press over the weekend, and she absolutely crushed the ball. I thought that the anchor was going to lose her freaking mind. She just kept trying to get her to toe the line on January 6th protester punishments. And anyway, I don't want to ruin it. It's a good one that we've got to see, guys. You've got to see this. But before we do, guys, be a part of the channel's growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share. It really, really does go a long way to helping us grow. And it's going to be a big year for the conservative movement. So we could definitely use the help. Take a look at this video.
We did mark the 3-year anniversary, and I want to pause for a minute and play some of the comments that you made on the evening of that day. Let's take a look.
This has been a truly tragic day for America. Americans will always have the freedom of speech and the constitutional right to protest, but violence in any form is absolutely unacceptable. It is anti-American and must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
In terms of what we're hearing today, former President Trump has referred to January 6th as a, quote, beautiful day. Just this weekend, he referred to some of those who are serving time for having stormed the Capitol as, quote, hostages. Do you still feel as though that day was tragic and that those who were responsible should be held responsible to the fullest extent of the law?
Well, first of all, Kristen, as typical for NBC and the biased media, you played one excerpt of my speech. I stand by my comments that I made on the House floor. I stood up for election integrity, and I challenged and objected to the certification of the state of Pennsylvania because of the unconstitutional overreach. So I absolutely stand by my floor speech. I am proud to support President Trump, and I want to correct another statement you made that there is no coordination with Joe Biden and the Department of Justice in prosecutions against President Trump. We just saw Hunter Biden defy a congressional subpoena, and the White House admitting it was in coordination with Joe Biden the morning of. That is coordination, and I believe that Joe Biden will be found to be the most corrupt president in our nation's history, and that's why all of the investigative work that we're doing is so important, because the American people, they deserve transparency and accountability.
A lot to unpack there. Of course, the White House has said that Hunter Biden is acting unilaterally on the issue of election integrity, though. As you know, Trump took his case to court more than 60 times that there was fraud. He didn't win. But I want to get back to this key question. Do you still think it was a tragic day? Do you think that the people who stormed the Capitol should be held responsible to the full extent of the law?
I have concerns about the treatment of January 6 hostages. I have concerns. We have a role in Congress of oversight over our treatments of prisoners, and I believe that we're seeing the weaponization of the federal government against not just President Trump, but we're seeing it against conservatives, we're seeing it against Catholics, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so proud to serve on the Select Committee on the Weaponization of the Government, because the American people want answers. They want transparency, and they understand that as you look across this country, there seems to be two sets of rules. If your last name is Clinton or it's Biden, you get to live by a different set of rules than if you're an everyday patriotic American. I've been clear, Kristen, if you go back and play the full speech I gave on the House floor, I condemn the violence just like I condemn condemned the violence of the BLM riots, but I also importantly stood for election integrity and security of our elections, which if we don't have that, we do not have a democracy. So the real threat to our democracy is these baseless witch hunt investigations and lawsuits against President Trump, whether it's Tish James or whether we see in the D.C. Circuit Court, and that is undemocratic and it's shredding our Constitution. And you know who agrees with me, Kristen? The American people. That's why President Trump is winning in poll after poll against Joe Biden.
The Justice Department has indicted a number of top-name Democrats as well, including the president's son, twice. So, I mean, a lot of critics would argue that undercuts your argument. There are two systems of justice.
If you want to try to,
can I follow
I
up
want
with
to answer
you?
that. If you want to make that case, the American people are very smart. They know that they tried to give Hunter Biden a sweetheart deal. We've heard from multiple IRS.
He's been indicted twice, Congresswoman.
But it was
That's
because of a judge that threw out a sweetheart deal that was negotiated on Joe Biden's behalf. Joe Biden and the Department of Justice have been withheld from going after the Biden crime family, which Joe Biden sits atop of.
Other top Democrats have been indicted as well, but we have a lot to get to. So I want
Yeah, so you guys see that. She did a great job. And, you know, they try to use her words against her 3 years later. And I think they were betting on the fact that she wouldn't really remember all that she said 3 years ago. And here's the thing that they have to remember. I don't think they know this about conservatives, but conservatives mean what they say. So it's not all that difficult to remember what you said 3 years ago, because it lines up with what you believe, what your values are. Democrats, they don't remember what they said yesterday. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. You know, they thought that they could get away with misrepresenting her words in just a short little snippet. But she knows exactly what she said. She knows exactly what she meant. And even more importantly than that, she knows everything that has happened since. All the new information that we've learned, all the new tactics and tricks used by the left to interfere with elections and remove candidates from ballots. She knows all that. And she knows that there really, really, truly are some defendants that would qualify as hostages. And she actually tried, I think, to give these questions that she was asked, these ridiculous questions, some real thought and give nuanced answers. You know, these are not yes or no type questions. That's what the left wants. They want you to get hammered down in some corner. But these are not yes or no questions. These are complicated and divisive issues. And I think she did a great job. Anyway, that's just my take, guys. Let me know yours in the comments. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. Really appreciate the support, guys. We'll see you in the next one.